So the first 3 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi have dropped on Disney+. But so far, is it worthy of the hype? Let's talk about it. What's up, guys? So, I just wanted to give some of my thoughts on the first 3 episodes of Obi-Wan since we're halfway through the show. I'll do a normal review once the last 3 episodes air. And before I get started, I just want to state that I am a fan of Star Wars. I'm not a diehard fan, but I did grow up watching it. I just haven't been a huge fan of what Disney's done with Star Wars. The Mandalorian is probably the best thing they've done. I enjoyed Rogue One, and I think it's unfortunate that the Solo movie didn't get a sequel. But we got something that I wasn't sure would ever happen, an Obi-Wan Kenobi show, or a limited series. We got 3 of the 6 episodes that are about 45 minutes long each, and this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I think the show's just alright. Even my wife has expressed to me that she feels kind of underwhelmed with the show. It's got its moments, and I guess before I dive any deeper, I should say there's mild spoilers here. I don't think anybody will be surprised with anything I talk about, but if for some reason you haven't watched any of it yet and you don't want anything spoiled, come back and watch this after you've seen the first 3 episodes. But we've got Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan, 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith. We actually started out with some younglings getting killed. There was a little Order 66 sequence, and we were introduced to the Inquisitors, Jedis that have turned to the dark side and hunt down Jedi. And of course, the big selling point about this show is Darth Vader and Obi-Wan going up against each other again. We were introduced to a young Leia, and she's been kidnapped, and of course, Obi-Wan is the one that has to go try and save her. Now, I've heard some rumors that there was supposed to be an Inquisitor show, and so instead what we have is Obi-Wan Kenobi and this Inquisitor plot, which is basically an excuse for Obi-Wan to run into Darth Vader again. But so far, I don't feel like there's really a whole lot of plot. The story feels very simple, and while it's still pretty entertaining, I just feel like the show hasn't really justified its existence yet, and being that we're halfway through this miniseries already, that's a problem. And I know Star Wars fans are probably going to kiss this show's ass. That's just kind of what happens with any Star Wars property. But I think once the last 3 episodes air and people kind of look at the big picture, they might start to realize that this wasn't really what we thought it was going to be. I do have good things to say about it. I like the look of the show. It definitely feels like the prequel trilogy kind of mashed up with Mandalorian. And I did like the whole Star Wars Tokyo type setting that we're introduced to in the 2nd episode. But a big chunk of this is spent on Tatooine. And I swear, it's like Tatooine is the only planet anything can happen on in the Star Wars universe. And so to me, it just feels like a lot of the same stuff. But we know that Darth Vader and Obi-Wan have their final showdown in A New Hope. And so while I think there is story to be told, I just don't know if I'm a big fan of the way it's being told. In the 3rd episode, we did get a fight with Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. Of course, it was very short-lived because it's not the final episode yet, so, you know, it just kind of has to tease us. That was probably the highlight of the whole show so far, even though I knew where it was going. But again, it just felt like everything was convenient, and they didn't want to do anything that was going to mess with A New Hope. And so the show just feels kind of limited, and like every decision in the story is the safest one. But Ewan McGregor is fantastic. He is definitely the highlight of the show. I love seeing him play Obi-Wan again. I loved the moment where he realized that Anakin Skywalker is still alive. That was really cool. And I do like young Leia, but I think calling her a 10-year-old is kind of a stretch. She talks like a 10-year-old, but she doesn't look like one. And there was one scene in the 1st episode that literally had my eyes rolling. There's this on-foot chase scene in the woods with Leia. One of the people chasing her just kind of runs into a branch that's very obviously there and in the way. It just looked really sloppy. Again, I will dig into the show more once the final 3 episodes come out and we have the whole picture. But as of right now, I'm disappointed. If anything, this could have just been a Disney Plus movie. But pretty much every scene with Darth Vader in it is peak Star Wars. Other than that, I just don't feel like there's a whole lot of special stuff going on. And if I were to give the show a rating right now, I would give it like a 7. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Are you enjoying Obi-Wan so far? Are you at all disappointed like I am? And also, just because I'm curious, how big of a Star Wars fan are you? On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say I'm like a 5 or a 6. There's a lot of movies and TV coming out right now. It's actually kind of crazy how much is coming out. So stay tuned for more reviews very soon. And if you like these videos, drop a like, subscribe, and also turn on notifications so any new content goes straight to you. And of course, I couldn't get through my days without GFUEL. So be sure to use GFUEL code DannyD for 10 to 30% off your order. And there are some Danny Dorito 23 GFUEL shakers still in stock. Make sure to snag one before they run out. But that's gonna be it for this one. As always, stay safe, be nice to each other out there, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!